On today's show,
It's Steph Curry's world and we're all just living in it. Can anyone snap the Dubs win streak?
it is Throwback Thursday. We debate the modern-day grandmama.
And we need to talk about this week's meme team.
It's Thursday, December 3rd. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to the starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast or catching us on NBA TV and or YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Taz Millis.
If only my papa's name was John.
To his right, the international man of mystery. Taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over at the internet, checking for your tweets, starters blog editor, Trey Kirby.
Hey,
Oh, TK, what do you got for us today, man?
Well, I'm here looking at the internet, looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. But first, we got to talk about last night's Raptors-Hawks game. The four of us in attendance, pretty decent seats, and that's how we were spotted by Raptors play-by-play man Matt Devlin, who got us onto the broadcast, where we quickly became an international sensation. The scene stealer, of course, was Tess's tucked-in Jorge Garbajosa jersey.
Yeah.
A look that garnered quite a few Twitter compliments and insults. But I asked some people to make this into their phone background. They actually did.
Yeah, why?
Surely they regretted it this morning and
I'm an
changed it back.
eye
But it
guru.
was fun for a night. And speaking of phones, we caught a little bit of heat for being on our phones the first time we were
Hey,
shot
I
on the
wasn't on my
broadcast
phone.
last
Well, you're
night.
on mine, though.
Yeah, you're
People
right.
are saying we're worse than the selfie girls at the Diamondbacks
Yeah.
game for earlier
Fair
this year.
point.
But if you're watching at home, tweet at us, use hashtag the starters. Tell us what we're looking at on our phones. We'll see some of the best answers a little bit later.
Oh yeah, there's the selfie girls. All right, so yeah,
That's
what are we looking at on our phones at the Raptors-Hawks games again? Hashtag the starters. Trey will have your best answers later. Now,
Hashtag, that's the new tuck rule, by the way.
What?
You gotta tuck. If
Look
it's a
good,
long
man.
jersey.
When it goes down to your
gotta
knees,
tuck.
yeah, that's fair
Gotta
enough.
do it.
All right, we got a lot to get to tonight. Let's start with the Golden State Warriors. They are now 20-0 with a 116-99 road win over the Hornets on Wednesday night. Steph Curry scored 28 of his game-high 40 points in the third quarter alone. Already his sixth 40-point effort of the season. Klay Thompson threw in 21, Draymond Green stuffed the stat sheet. They're 20-0. They haven't lost. There's a lot to digest here with this team, and I know
You seem underwhelmed.
well, you become a bit of a broken record
Sure.
at times with this squad just because they're so unbelievable. But before we sort of look forward, because they are in the middle or getting to the middle of this road trip, let's look back. I just want to know, and we asked this to everyone watching too, what's your favorite stat from the Warriors' perfect 20-0 start?
Okay, so through 20, Steph is the fastest ever to get to 100 threes made. Ray Allen was a second at 31. Now, I don't really think you can comprehend that until you look at his contemporaries.
Yeah.
He's nearly double the second highest guy in the league today. He's at 102. Paul George, again, about half that. So you think, well, maybe he's just shooting a lot more threes, so he's making them. Well, he is shooting a lot more threes. He's shooting a lot more twos. And he's even more efficient. He's becoming a different kind of player. The question is, how much more can he shoot? He's making 37% of his team's shots, 37% of his team's points while he's on the floor. Highest efficiency for any player who's averaged 20 since Wilt, which is obviously a center. So can he shoot more? Can he make more threes, make more twos? That's the question with him, because the numbers aren't going down. It's only going up, and he's obviously in line to break the three-point record
Break
of
it.
all time.
Break
He
it.
might break it by
Shatter
Christmas.
this thing. He really has figured out, you're right, that he truly cannot take too many three-pointers. That's not a real thing with him.
Yeah, and he's going
He
to
could
take
shoot
shots
25
away from his teammates,
Yeah.
which are more likely to go in than his teammates' shots, right?
It's unbelievable, and you saw what he did there against the Hornets. I mean, and
That was great.
that's the other thing. He's pulling up from like 30 feet,
Yeah.
and you just sit there and go, "Come on, that's not fair." That's what we're doing. But what about you? What's your favorite stat, Lee?
Staying with Steph Curry, he's actually playing better on the road than he is at home. Or shooting better, scoring more at a higher percentage, and hitting more three-pointers.
Than he is at the Roar.
Than he is at
Right.
home. So, I mean, you sort of think, we automatically assume that the Warriors are more likely to lose a road game because it's just harder to win on the road.
Yeah.
But he's actually lifting his game and carrying
Yeah.
his team like a true leader does. You know, the environments tend to be more hostile, and he's out there showing his team the way. And the thing as well about Steph Curry, especially when you see these shots, sometimes he takes a bad shot as far as he's not squared up to the basket. But the next shot is the one that's going to go in. And that's the thing about him. He doesn't really go through these patches where you think, okay, he's just not hot right now. He gets a clean look off and it's going to go in. And he's almost making it so that you can't defend him either, because traditionally in a half-court set, teams wait for you to bring the ball up and then you start running your offense. He's deciding when he's got the ball if he's going to shoot it, basically by the time he gets over halfway. And then, as you mentioned, he can be 30, 35 feet out. It doesn't really matter. He's still getting a good look off.
I know there are a million Curry stats. You guys picking two that you could go with. I'll look at the team in general, and I'll actually point out their defense and specifically what they do. Is how they defend, despite being one of the best three-point shooting teams, the best three-point shooting team in the league. They actually defend the three really well. They rank second in the league, just behind the Knicks, in holding opponents to 30.1% shooting on threes. And that is despite playing at one of the fastest paces in the league. That's what's crazy about it. You know, your Knicks and your Mavs and your Heat, the other teams on this board who do a good job defending the three, it makes a little more sense because they play a slower game. They're going to be set up a little bit more. The Warriors, we know, like, they want to get up and down. They want to let Steph Curry get to 30 feet and let it go, but they could still take away the three-pointer. I think that's huge. And yes, their defense has actually fallen off a little bit.
A little bit.
From last
still
year.
very, very good.
Yeah, still top 5, top 6 in the league, but that's just amazing that they only give up an average of 6.3 threes per game. Only the Spurs do less, and they play in that up and down style.
They love shooting threes and they love defending them.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
would like to see their intra-squad games then when they're playing against themselves.
Great point.
Because they're probably the only team that can actually defend themselves well enough.
All right, well, let's look at this current road trip. They're 2 games in. Of course, they haven't lost. They took care of the Jazz. Last night, it was the Hornets. 5 games to go on this 7-game road trip. You see it there. You see the calendar. They got the Raps coming up on Saturday. Some good Eastern Conference teams in here. Nets, Pacers, Celtics, and Bucks. Task.
Nets, let's not throw them into
Well, the
that.
Nets almost beat them,
The Nets
Task.
are
true.
closer than
Okay,
anyone
so,
else.
so
It's
here's
true.
the question, Task. What will the Warriors' record be when they finish this 7-game road trip?
They're going to be 24-1. They are going to lose a game. You mentioned the Nets almost beat them at home. I do not think that the Nets are going to knock them off on Sunday. The Raptors, though, came very close as well.
Yeah.
Came down to the wire. But the Raps are going to be playing 3 and 4 on Saturday while the Warriors will be fresh. I don't think it's going to be them. I think it's going to be the Indiana Pacers who are going to knock them off. First of all, let's remember, going 7-0 on a road trip is very, very
right.
difficult. And the Pacers match up really well. They play small ball very well. Paul George at the 4, CJ Miles at the 4, no matter, however you want to look at it, they can match up, and Paul George is playing out of his head. And again, just to be able to go 7-0 on that road trip, it's going to be tough. You're looking at a guy who's probably second in MVP voting, or up there if we were to have a vote right now. Their team is playing really, really well.
Yeah, I think they are the best team that they're going to face for the rest of this trip. I think the Raptors are definitely going to be up for it on Saturday afternoon. You know, Kyle Lowry, he wants revenge after what happened a couple of weeks ago. We saw him last night against Atlanta. He has the ability to sort of carry his team, but I just don't think the Raptors are quite deep enough to run with the Warriors.
The Raptors do play pretty well against good teams. I mean, they've got quality wins against the Pacers they already beat. They beat the Thunder, the Clippers, the Cavs. They beat the Hawks last night.
But the Warriors don't have a game until Saturday, while the Raps played yesterday, and then they play Friday in Denver. You got to be fresh if you're playing against the Golden State Warriors.
So both of you guys, though, say they lose one of these games on the road and go back 24-1. A horrible 24-1 after 25.
Well, I didn't say they definitely will lose. I think the Pacers will be the most likely team to beat them.
Okay, look, the truth
Way to play it
is,
safe.
no NBA team has beat them. They're, again, 20-0. They can't be beat by an NBA squad, but is there a hypothetical team that could beat the Warriors? Trey, I believe you have a few possibilities to at least show us the tails of the tape when it comes to who could beat the Warriors.
Yeah, pulled together a few hypothetical tails of the tape of teams who could maybe give the Warriors a game. The first we'll take a look at is the Warriors versus Marvel's Avengers. Be a pretty good match. Of course, the Avengers have superpowers, a huge advantage in their favor, but what happens when the Warriors go small? Can they keep up? Hulk slows down. To me, I think this game ends with the arena somehow getting destroyed because the Hulk is angry.
I still take the Warriors. I think the Hulk's going to get into foul trouble early.
He's going to get angry, get a tee, get thrown out.
Thor you can't bring a hammer onto the court.
Yeah, it's not
Take
allowed.
out Thor. Hawkeye will be he can maybe be a Klay Thompson-like
He's the X
shooter.
factor.
Yeah, okay, but I'm sticking Warriors. They'd
All
beat
right,
me.
second matchup, hypothetical, of course. Warriors versus the Toon Squad from Space Jam, who do have Michael Jordan, and not just normal Michael Jordan. We're talking stretchy limbs Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He can score from half court. That's going to be a huge advantage for the Toon Squad. But on the other hand, if somebody paints a hole on the ground, everybody's going to fall in and the game's over. I'll take the Warriors.
I like that we now don't debate whether the current Warriors could beat the 72-10 Bulls. Now it's Jordan's Toon Squad. What do you guys think?
I think Andre Iguodala is a good matchup for Jordan. He's got the length there.
Okay.
Yeah, Warriors close one though.
Warriors close one. I don't think the Toon Squad has the depth.
Yeah, they don't
I mean,
have the
Lola's
depth.
got game. Bug's got game, but that's
And
it.
there's a little PED concerns with the Toon Squad. They were all on Michael's secret stuff, if you can remember. Final hypothetical matchup, the Warriors versus Dream Team 2, who won the gold medal at the FIBA World Championships in 1994. They had 5 Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
but people said they were a little bit too cocky.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, how are they going to keep up with the Warriors, who have a ton of great guards? There's a lot of good big guys on the Dream Team 2, but not a ton of legendary
There's
guards.
some good
Great.
shooters, though.
There's some
Thunder
good shooters.
Dan,
Reggie, yeah.
Steve Smith, Reggie, Mark Price. And wasn't that team coached by Don Nelson?
Oh yeah.
That's Nelly ball right there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an up and down game. I'm
We
going
should
Dream
ask
Team
Reggie
2.
Miller. We'll have to ask Reggie Miller.
Okay, I'm going Dream Team 2. Let's hear from you guys in the hypothetical Warriors versus everybody matchups. Who wins those games? When we come back, it's Throwback Thursday. We're going to talk about the NBA's all-time best grandma. You're watching The Starters. Back with the Starters. There we were last night down at the Fortress for the Raptors and Hawks, the Kyle Lowry game, as we can now call it. And we asked you earlier in the show, what were we looking at on our phones? Trey, you got a few of the best answers.
Yeah, a lot of great answers, a lot of insulting answers, but we'll stick with the good ones. Samuel Fleming said, we're looking at the wedgie from the Spurs game last night.
Makes
We
sense.
were, sort
Accurate.
of. Scott Krellner says, Justin's class rings. Shout out to Justin's. Gotta get your orders in. If this was the fourth quarter, Boxhead K says they could be looking for the Hawks defense.
Whoa! Zing!
Alex Widener says, you guys were watching League Pass on your phones. Gotta stay connected. And my favorite comes from Shane Butler says, what are the starters looking at? We're searching Google for, is there a flannel mega store in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yes, there is. Quad plaids today.
Yeah, we're all rocking the plaids today. All right.
Great answers.
Keep those answers coming. Hashtag Starters. What were we looking at on our phones? All right, it's Throwback Thursday. We love doing this. Today's Throwback Thursday, NBA edition, is former Hornets and Knicks power forward Larry Johnson. Grandmama, yes. You see the LJ jersey there, courtesy of our friends at basketballjerseyworld.com. Larry Johnson, an interesting career.
Yeah.
When we were looking this up today, it almost surprised us that he only played for 2 teams.
Yeah.
Just feels like he sort of played for other teams. He was a beast earlier in his career, 20 and 10 type guy for the Hornets. Had to change his game because of injuries when he went to the Knicks, but hit some big shots, was instrumental in some of their success. Larry Johnson, you see his stats there, they don't, look, 16, 7, they're decent. Not incredible, but 2-time All-Star. He was the Rookie of the Year in 91-92, made an All-NBA team. What immediately comes to mind, and maybe it's the Grandmama, as I already alluded to, his iconic Converse commercial when he dressed up as a grandma, which is really weird when you think about it.
That's one of the most famous commercials though from the early
Absolutely.
90s. But for me, he was the 90s version of the 80s Charles Barkley, an undersized power
Yep.
forward. He was only listed at 6'6", but he played power forward, especially in those early days with Charlotte. He was a big, bulky guy, he could get to the rim. But then he did have those back injuries which affected his career, and he had to change his career, and he did develop a three-point game
Yep.
as well. Like, not a fantastic shooter, but he did become some
liked to
part of
shoot
his...
'em.
Yeah, he liked to shoot him, but he was huge, obviously, at UNLV too, in college. So he came out highly touted as a #1 pick, was Rookie of the Year. His career started off really well, 20 and 10, and he was a very, very good player. But I think we probably got shortchanged a little bit because the injury shortened his career.
Oh, I think for sure we did. He only played 10 seasons.
Yeah, he retired. I think he was only 31 when he retired.
Yeah, exactly. A 31-year-old having to retire because of injuries.
Yeah.
I would say if he played today, maybe with the way medicine's advanced, maybe he plays longer.
Yeah.
And we see a longer career.
Some guys are only around their prime in that
of
age.
course.
So, he could definitely have had greater stats. I mean, you mentioned them there, Skeets, like if he was able to, but once your back is injured, it does affect so many other parts of your game.
It's not like his skills fell off.
No.
But you are right. When he played for the Hornets, it was all the dunks, it was the highlights. He was a beast despite being smaller. You see him there. But then when he went to the Knicks, you're right. He added a perimeter game and found ways to still help them. He added a beard as well.
Yeah,
that beard, he added a beard,
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
He was still a pretty good basketball player despite the chronic back problems. Which that's probably the worst injury you could really get.
Yeah,
as an NBA player.
You mentioned things have changed so much. It's only like 15, 16 years ago when he was
they
still
have,
playing.
yeah.
But yeah, they have so much. And it's just the preparation that goes into it as well.
You said he sort of was the 90s version of Barkley. I like
Yeah.
that. But what about modern day Larry Johnson? Who comes to mind as a modern day Larry Johnson? We throw that at everyone watching as well.
Trey threw this out in our office. I think Paul Millsap is the best one. I think a guy who, a couple all-star appearances, can play inside and outside,
Yeah.
a little bit undersized at the 4 spot. I think it works out perfectly.
Yeah,
I
he's
think-
kind of the inverse personality-wise of Larry Johnson.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
brash guy, and Paul Millsap, definitely a little bit more unassuming, but he's a guy who also later in his career added an outside jumper,
Yeah.
right? He
Yeah.
became a perimeter guy when he started out as a post-up guy. I think that's a pretty nice
And it's
comparison.
not a great outside shooter as well. Yeah, he doesn't
Sufficient.
rain down.
Yeah.
Enough to pull a guy out for sure.
I think the other guy we're seeing right now is Draymond Green. Is similar, similar sort of build, similar sort of size.
Offensively.
Offensively, not quite as good as Larry right now, but he's improved a lot.
Oh, I was saying also Larry Johnson not nearly as good as Draymond Green defensively.
No,
So the
that's
comparison
right. Yeah,
stops there,
but
That's
the
hard.
way that Draymond plays, as far as a small guy
Yeah.
playing bigger than his height and bigger than his size, I think that's very similar to the way Larry plays.
It was a guy that we brought up when we were doing Sean Kemp for Throwback Thursday. I think a lot of people would do the same. Blake Griffin.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
you
it.
do
I
it?
think
Why do you
that
like it?
He's still an undersized power forward, Blake Griffin is, and he's a super athlete, just like Larry Johnson was. Really crazy strong for being a little bit smaller than the standard at his position.
Yeah.
And he's added a perimeter game. He's also not a great outside shooter, but he can do it. And the way they play inside, just running people over,
Yeah.
just dropping the shoulder, playing
Yeah.
bully ball. I think that's pretty Larry Johnson.
And you've got the #1 pick, Angle, both of them. And, I mean, if there was ever a guy that I feel like could bring back the grandmama,
Yeah.
it would be Blake Griffin, right? So
Yeah.
personality-wise,
Yeah,
it's sort
that's
of...
true.
Yeah.
Got the
Brings that
acting
up.
chops.
He
He's
definitely
also
does.
got the handles that Larry didn't really.
Oh, yeah, look, there's differences.
Tough.
Let's hear from you guys. Tweet at us. Maybe we missed some. Who's the modern-day version of LJ, Larry Johnson, Grandmama? Let us know. Trey will get to some of your best answers a little bit later. Gotta take a break. When we come back, oh, it's the meme team. It gets a little sassy in the meme team. By the looks of it. Come on back. You're watching the starters. Back with the starters. Before we get to the meme team, Trey, I believe you have some hot off the presses NBA uniform news for us.
That's exactly right. Adidas busted out the All-Star jerseys for the 2016 All-Star game in Toronto, and they look awesome.
Yeah.
They're simple.
Yeah, they're simple, but they're a little bit throwback. I think they're kind of similar to last year's in the way they're a little bit throwback, and you're going to see a lot of Raptors on every single player, even if they're not a Raptor. Looks cool to me, though. It's the first time an All-Star game has been played outside of the States, and I think it's really cool.
There's a little head nod to the Toronto Huskies days, the inaugural season of the NBA as well. They look like the Huskies jerseys back in, what was it, 45?
Oh, the good old days.
46 or something, yeah, something like that.
First
Yeah.
game played in Toronto. Yeah.
I will say they should have made them flannel, plaid. Right?
Stay warm.
Maybe, yeah.
Why not? All right, it's Thursday. It's time for the meme team. We scour the internet every Thursday to bring you our favorite weird and wacky moments from the past 7 days. This week's starting five. Taz, get us going.
At number 5, a large fan at the Rockets game tries to distract. Big distraction. I love it when they get literal. That's great stuff.
It's
Now,
distracting me.
It is quite distracting. He looks like one of those big guys that's pretty agile. Could be a good dancer.
He's a good dancer. You're
Yeah,
right.
he's got the moves.
Embrace it.
It didn't work though.
Did it
right?
work?
No,
No.
it didn't.
No.
Cash. All right, at number 4, Rasheed Wallace. He's still got it, guys. 41 years old. Wow. Still the master of the trick shots. Here he is dropping 2 balls from a college three-point line simultaneously.
And he still talks. Dude, he hasn't lost
Yeah,
that
yeah,
skill.
that's awesome.
Still has the ability
That's
to talk.
an unbelievable shot.
Yeah.
At number 3, the Lopez bros. They love Star Wars so much. They got into a lightsaber battle.
Yeah.
Now, the troubling part, the disturbing part here is this looks very choreographed. you watch the whole minute clip. It looks like they're flashing back to their old, their 8, 9.
Robin, I am your brother.
Oh, nice. Lee, excited for The Force Awakens?
How long does it go for?
No, okay, never mind. At number 2, it's beginning to look a lot like ugly Christmas sweater season again. Last year, you saw the Kings rocking the ugly Christmas sweaters decorated in trees and snowflakes. Well, good news, they're back. Yes, there they are. And the Kings, someone on the Kings staff learned how to use Photoshop. Because look at this. I think they're better.
There you go.
I'm not sure they're uglier, but oh my God, Cron Butler nailed it.
Smiley guy.
Yeah.
At number 1, I love this one. Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. We have all been there. Dwayne Wade looks like he's in a bit of trouble here. Gabrielle just wants to do away with the pleasantries of having to talk to everybody else because she's got something to settle with Mr. Wade.
What?
do
We
we-
nearly said something, yeah.
what
Just
are we-
nod your head. Smart move, Dwayne.
Yeah,
Think
okay,
you're
here.
safe in public.
No, we got cameras over. Fake smile, fake smile, fake smile. All right. Let's get to the bottom of this.
What did he do? That's what you gotta find out.
We will find out one day.
Oh, I love that one. All right. Happy to say we had another wedgie in the association last night. We are into double digits, Tess.
We were at the Hawks game, but we were looking at our phones at this beautiful wedgie, the 10th of the season, well on our way to 50. So we're 20% in to the season. 20% there. 22% of the games have been played. So we're
Nice.
about on pace
Wow,
here
good.
to get to 50.
Loving it.
10 total wedgies, and we just got into December.
We're having a Steph Curry season of wedges.
We really are. We really are. All right, gotta take a break. When we come back, Lily's very solid play of the night. Go watch the starters. Back with the starters. A look at last night's pick and plays. Tass, the only one going with the Raps.
How dare you guys betray
Hey,
your
man.
former home?
I told you I couldn't lose.
Yeah.
It was a smart move. I was so happy they won. All right, tomorrow, guys, is the pick and payoff. I lost the month of November. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I was told from our producers not to wear cologne.
Usually they tell you to wear lots of cologne.
Oh, thank you.
You smell good though.
Yeah, I've been told not to wear cologne. I don't know what that means. Find out tomorrow where I have to do something. I have a feeling it involves animals. I don't know why. All right.
Let's hope so.
Tonight's picks, Spurs and Grizzlies. Two of us, myself and Lee, will take the Grizzlies.
they're
Tass and
gonna
Trey.
lose then?
Yeah, you're screwed, Lee. Tass and Trey taking the Spurs. That is one of the games on TNT's doubleheader tonight. Get started with the Thunder visiting the Heat, followed by the Grizz and the Spurs. Celtics playing the Kings in Mexico City as well. So enjoy that. All right, Lily, where are we going for very solid play?
You know where I'm going? We're going to the Fortress because we were all there to witness this very solid play live in person. Watch the ball fizzing around here to Kent Bay's money in the corner for a
Swish ball.
beautiful one it was. Everyone in the crowd got up for that one. Look at it again. Bay's money and swish bomb again. That's what I call a very solid play.
We just needed to be on camera. Why didn't they get us in the shot there?
That was definitely the most excited Lee got last night at the Raptors-Hawks game. Or maybe when he was eating that pizza.
That was a great pizza.
All right, tomorrow morning we record the hour-long Drop podcast. We'll be talking about the Rudy Gobert injury, the Warriors' hot start, and of course Kobe Bryant. Got to talk a little Kobe, so check that out. It's up on iTunes, Google Play. We'll have it up on the website. Back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Of course, don't go anywhere. Coming up next, it's the FanDuel Fantasy Tip-Off Show. Jared Greenberg, Dag, get you ready for your FanDuel lineups.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, folks. And remember, if a person recommends a restaurant because of its guacamole, don't go there.
What?
That's weird.
It's just
Why?
a little lime, a little
Guacamole's
salt.
good,
If that's
man.
the best thing they have
can
to
have a
offer.
good guacamole,
No, of
though.
course, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
If that's
shout
the
out to
best
Kyle
thing they have
Lowry.
to offer, come on.
Brace the night, people. Brace that guac.